Welcome back to Iron Media, where objectivity meets reality. I must say, thank you for all the views, likes, comments, subscriptions so far. It's greatly appreciated. Now, I don't know if you remember about the case involving a Dutch national by the name of Patrick Anthony Crawford, a 44-year-old carpenter / construction worker of Rotterdam, Holland, who was charged with possession of and dealing in attempting to and conspiracy to export more than $28 million worth of cocaine. This case was back in May of this year, where he was held at the Sansta International Airport trying to export a decent quantity, I would say, of cocaine with a street value of over $28 million. He was held, subsequently searched, and he was found carrying about 13.5 pounds of cocaine. He was remanded, and he had a case to answer within the courts. I try to follow these cases as much as possible, particularly because I'm interested in the amount of sentence that the person or persons involved receive, and to see how much that align with the, you could say, the offense or the gravity of the offense, to see how much it is on par with the offense that was committed, and to see, whether it was fair enough or whether it was an unfair sentencing. And that's just my point of view, to be honest. Now it's gone to the point where we have a judge saying that the penalty is too low for the offense. Apparently, he has been sentenced to 9 months in prison, and when you have a judge saying the penalty is too low for an offense, you know that the system is broken. This is just me preaching to the converted. We know this. This is common knowledge. We have a broken system. However, the judges are not responsible for writing the laws. The laws are what they are. They are written, and we have them in the Constitution. So the judge can only sentence based on the sentencing guidelines which he has in front of him. It's not like the judge can make a decision out of his own opinion on what sentence a person should get based on the crime they have been convicted for. They have sentencing guidelines that they have to work with, and that's just what they have in the law. Now, we often say, to be honest, well, it's the law. What does that really mean? It sounds as if the laws are not written by humans. It sounds as if these laws were written by a divine being. The laws were written by God. Because we often have people, whenever something happens, and people try to use the argument of, well, it's the law, to justify, an offense and the punishment to the offense. Well, I always say to them, slavery was lawful. It was lawful for other human beings to own human beings as their property, brand them as their property, as in, this is the property of John. So when people use that argument, to be honest, it means nothing to me, because laws are written by humans, and the last time I checked, humans are fallible. They're not infallible. So, and anything involving humans, for that matter, it's fallible. And not because it's the law, it means that it makes sense. Case in point. You were found with $28 million worth of cocaine. However, you got 9 months. You know, that's a joke. That's not even a slap on the wrist. Now, remember that a small amount of weed at one point was unlawful and you could be prosecuted. You know, people still serving sentences in the US and other parts of the world for when marijuana was offensive, even a small amount. Doesn't matter, even if it's half an ounce, even if it's quarter ounce, it was an offense, and people are still serving sentences even up to now for offenses that were committed long ago, even some decades ago. You know, so this thing where the people like to throw around, well, it's the law. I don't agree with that. You know, it have to make sense. It have to be logical. You can't just say it is the law. What if tomorrow the law is you're allowed to break in anybody's house and take what you want? It's the law, but is it right? Is it rational? No. So we have to shift our mindsets from this type of thinking where, you know, even if it's not logical, because it's the law, it means that, you know, it makes all the sense in the world. You know, another case in point, you're telling me that if a person pull up at your house and you unalive that person because that person was breaking into your house, and somehow some stray rounds, you know, hit a passing car and injured somebody or even kill the person, you're telling me that you deserve the same sentence as a man who go up on a shooting spree, just wildly firing rounds? You're telling me that you would deserve the same sentence as that man? No, we have to shift our mindsets from that. So, you know, the Dutchman getting 9 months makes no sense to me, especially as a foreigner, because you could not try that in foreign land. You couldn't dare, especially in Uncle Sam, the United States. You couldn't dare. Not even an ounce of weed or an ounce of coke. You couldn't dare pull up to the border with that in your possession. You'd receive serious and severe punishment and consequences for that. So I don't see how a foreign national, or otherwise, whether you're Jamaican or whether you're a foreign national trying to export such quantities of cocaine with street value over $28 million, and you just get a mosquito bite. It's not even a slap on the wrist, to be honest. It's like a mosquito bite. You know, so it actually makes no sense to me. However, the sentences are what they are. You know, because our well-learned scholars, you know, the ones who are writing laws and constitution, those are the ones who wrote these laws. You know, and usually have some of these laws that have been on the books since Jamaica gained independence. So the laws that were written some 60 odd years ago, we're still using those laws in present time Jamaica, which is crazy because things have changed, culture have changed, everything has changed and everything has advanced, which means that we need updated laws to match current society. We're no longer in 1962 or the 70s or the 80s or the 90s. It is 2024, which means that you need to have laws that match 2024 happenings on the books. And we have to remember, you know, there are so many politicians who are lawyers. We have so many politicians. Most of the politicians in Jamaica, they are lawyers. You know, well-learned scholars, you know, according to them, but somehow we still have weak, outdated laws. Even to import illegal firearm. Some little baby sentence, some 2 years, some joke business. So how can we still have a law like that on our books? Huh? How? Let me tell you why. Because we have to look at who these laws benefit. Who are the beneficiaries of these laws? When you have laws that are weak for certain offenses, who does it benefit? And then once you go down that line and you start connecting the dots, then it will make more sense to you. When you think about what happened back in 2020 to about say 2022 there about with COVID, the whole COVID situation, the laws were updated very quickly in record time. As Trump would say, in warp speed. Those laws were updated in warp speed. They changed the Disaster Risk Management Act. They updated those laws to match a new virus that was spreading across the world. We were in the middle of a pandemic. Mind you, some of the laws didn't make any sense, but they did update the laws. You know, whether it's for an agenda or whether because they thought that, you know, they could also be affected by it. But nonetheless, the laws were updated. So we have to collectively, as Jamaicans, put pressure on these politicians. We have to raise our voice in concert. Like Dr. Andrew said, you know, raise your voice in concert, Jamaicans, when, you know, you're opposed to whatever they're doing. And we know how much Andrew loves our position, right? But we have to really look at the things that are very important and things that can affect us, because I know people are looking at this case now and saying, how a man get 9 months for export cocaine? How you get 9 months to do that? But then Johnny done ya, so they are prison for 11 years on like a full crime. But like I said, you have to look at who these laws benefit, and there you will have your answer. But you know, those are just my thoughts. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion, you know. And please do remember, like, share, comment and subscribe. Until next time.